When a world-class art museum lands in your backyard and all of a sudden 70 to 100,000 people are coming from all over the world, of course it transforms the region.
Established in 1974, the Dia Art Foundation is internationally recognized as one of the world's most influential institutions.
New York is the center of the art world, really. Dia bought property in Chelsea, in Manhattan. The entire art scene in Manhattan now moved from Soho to Chelsea. It's a pretty powerful organization.
The name comes from the Greek prefix meaning through, and it was chosen by the founders to suggest the institution's role in enabling extraordinary and ambitious artistic projects. To become an organization through which artists' visions can be realized, presented, and preserved.
They were looking, though, for a home for their permanent collection, which was growing. They were flying in a small plane back from the Berkshires, and they came along the Hudson River to find their way down to the city and spotted this factory from the sky and said, "What's that?"
And it turned out that this post-World War I era building housed the heavy machinery at the National Biscuit Company in Beacon, better known to residents and the world as Nabisco.
Hit it, Hal. Gooey, gooey, rich and chewy inside.
Nabisco once dominated the city of Beacon as a major employer and economic driver, but once the factory closed, Beacon's landscape changed.
Businesses were still closing. A lot of them had closed in the late 70s on Main Street.
Not just a boarded up Main Street, but actually a bricked up Main Street.
In 1983, Beacon was a town on a downhill slide. One day, Dia announced they were coming to town. My partners and I bought a building on Main Street, an old firehouse, and started renovating that about the time that they started renovating this building.
So John and his partner found a home for their business, Hudson Beach Glass, and Dia found a permanent home for their permanent collection. But they weren't the only ones looking for permanence. By 2003, Dia Beacon opened its doors to over 100,000 visitors a year coming from all over the world.
It started changing the town. Other artists, other artisan-based businesses, other members of the creative class started moving here, or maybe they were already here, but there was a complete transformation.
I've watched the transformation of neighborhoods. Artists show up and they're looking for low rents and studio space to work in, and of course a community of like-minded people.
Young artists that started out in Brooklyn or Lower Manhattan, they came up here to see Dia, they saw the town, and they saw an opportunity.
It happened in Soho, New York, and Tribeca, and so you watch all these little pockets of neighborhoods, the East Village, and then Chelsea, Woodstock, New Paltz, and now Beacon.
And even though the former biscuit factory has become a house for Dia's permanent collection, the cultural landscape it has created has made Beacon its home.
Artists working in Beacon and having access to this space and this work and this history, I think feeds one another.
What I'm noticing about this museum is that these pieces are larger than life. They play off the space that the museum has to offer.
Well, these works inspire awe. It's not so much who the artists are and what the work is, but it's the way it's displayed. This is a work by Michael Heiser called Northeast Southwest, and it's actually set into the concrete of the building, of the floor of the building, and the insets, the negative sculptures, are made with Cor-Ten steel. And they're either up in a permanent way or for a very long-term way. That's really what distinguishes Dia Beacon from other collections.
The art is married and integrated to the space so that the walls and the floors and the ceilings are of equal value as the artwork.
Much in the same way that Dia is now married to Beacon and the Hudson Valley art community, expanding the base of artistic culture in the same space, a space through which an entire community benefits and redefines the meaning of a permanent collection.
It's a remarkable story that really proves the power of arts and culture to transform our society.